Welcome.
Good morning, everybody. It's April the 14th, another beautiful day, Tuesday, and we're talking about plants and animals and microbes, macrobes, and the speed of life. And we got Jackie from, where are you at, Jackie, in this world?
I'm in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Yeah, we're going to be out there. Elliot, we're going to do all of our meetups. And we're going to add one. We're going to add Skinny Atlas. I got to figure the date, probably August, and I'll come up with it. Right? And everybody's a VIP at economy prices.
Yeah. We're rearranging the Albany meetup. I'm going to do some research today.
Yeah. Talk to Justine. Talk to Justine. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We got lots of things.
I love it.
Intermittent fasting foodie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
And before we get Jackie sharing her energy and ideas, any announcements, or we'll get them a little later and manage to get all the meetups and get that whole list where Kiltz is going to be traveling the world. And Dr. Nelson and you are going to help me. And some of them will be Dr. Nelson also and Dr. Ali also. So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Figure it out. Jackie, how are you today? And what do you got to share on why intermittently fasting?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. I woke up a little early for you, so I'm excited to be here. And I love intermittent fasting, and I share online my journey with it because when I started, I had this idea that it had to look a certain way. And then when I realized that intermittent fasting could meet you where you're at in your diet and still provide benefit, I wanted to share that message so that people didn't feel precluded or like it wasn't an option for them. And I'm almost 6 years into my journey and still love it every single day.
Well, I call it intermittently feasting.
Yeah.
Which is just a play on words here, because we're technically intermittently eating and we have prolonged times of fasting, not eating.
Yeah.
And tell us a little bit about, how you were living prior to this lifestyle and why you made the change and what are the things you noticed in doing that?
Okay. So, and I'm talking from a very, very early age. I've always had a very healthy appetite and also like a joy around food. And so it didn't really ever cause a weight issue until I was much older and had my children. And then my same appetite, I was gaining weight. And anytime that I tried dieting, I had that loss of joy when it came to eating, and it was a constant food noise. And to be honest, when I started fasting, I thought it would be another diet where I'd lose the weight. I was consistently losing weight and then saying, screw it, I want to enjoy eating again. And I gained the weight back, and it was like this perpetual cycle. So when I started fasting, I thought it would probably truly end up being something like that again. And then here I am 6 years later, loving it, sharing it with the world. And the change has been drastic. One, I can rest in my natural ways of having a large appetite. I eat generally just dinner every day and I get the satisfaction. But then because I'm fasting all day and I'm not trying to eat less than I want, I don't have the constant food noise of how much is too much. Can I, shouldn't I, what's going to be later? It's just the eating window. And then I close it and then I fast until the next day. And it's extremely joyful and peaceful. And that's my favorite part.
What type of benefits have you noticed physically, emotionally, or just generalized life joy?
Oh, well, many. So first of all, I've lost weight and I've maintained the weight loss, but that's baseline, Beyond that, I had non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. I was diagnosed with that when I was 24. I wasn't overweight at the time, and I had never been a drinker. At 24, I had already had 2 babies, and that was kind of a surprise to see that. So I hadn't ever checked up on it, but here I am now at 38 and I no longer have signs of fatty liver, and I just had an abdominal scan and I don't have visceral fat all over my liver anymore. So um, that has been a huge blessing from fasting. I have very clean blood results or labs that I run annually. I had, I don't love sharing this one, but I had a foot fungus like on my toenails that I could not get rid of. And then 5 months into fasting, it was gone. Um, I had the same eyesight prescription for 8 years, every 8 years. And then as I was fasting, it improved in my mid 30s. And um, it's been a lot of those little things that I've noticed over the years. Scars improving. I have a scar. You can't even see it anymore. And I wish I had a picture of it before, but I never thought to document it since I was 12 years old. It was a very tough, thick scar on my finger. I know where it is because I can feel it a little bit in the nerves, but you really cannot see it anymore. Um, I have a long list of those kind of minor things. But on top of that, truly the peace and the reduction in food noise has been my absolute favorite because I just can enjoy whatever event I'm at that has food. I can structure my day to fit whatever food priority I have, and there's just no stress that comes with it.
What is your foods that you consume?
Well, pretty much anything. So that is, I don't really have any sort of a diet that I stick to. Um, excuse me.
But you do make a choice to eat certain things
Right.
and not eat other things. I mean,
Um,
probably don't use heroin, cocaine, or marijuana,
well,
and you probably aren't eating cookie, cake, and ice cream as your primary meal source, right?
right. So the way, so when I first started fasting, excuse me, when I
Take your
first
time.
started fasting, I I would say that I opened my eating window like a vacuum. Like I finally got there and I'd say, I can eat. And I remember this one time in particular, I ate Oreos to open my fast, which I would never suggest to anyone, but they were right there and I hit my timer. I don't like Oreos. I don't know why I did it, but this one encouragement I give to people as they start fasting is don't beat yourself up when you do stuff like that because I felt like crap when I opened my eating window with Oreos. And that was a great learning tool. I do not open my eating window with sugar anymore. I have I have this philosophy. I saw it on actually TikTok and I've adopted it as my own. It kind of put words to what I already like to do. I eat what I want, but I add the things that I need. So I try to start my eating window with protein, veggies, and I crowd out my hunger by eating the things that I know I need that are nutritionally dense, but I also don't have restrictions. I don't do drugs, but that's more of a personal choice than diet. But I don't have, like I did have an ice cream cone last night. That's not off limits. And a huge thing for me, I have a personality where if you tell me I can't do something, I want to rebel. And so not having restrictions means when I have an ice cream cone last night, I had a single ice cream cone and I met that desire. I'm not going to, sit there and stew on it for a week and then have ice cream for the next 6 months because I'm saying screw it like I have in past diets.
And by simply fasting, going to one meal a day, it brings so much health benefits. Whether you eat strictly plants, strictly animals, or both.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the game changers I found years ago. And I'm right now on a 5-day fast. It may go to 4, it may go to 6 or 7. Haven't decided yet. But have you done any prolonged fasting, multiple days? And what's the longest? And tell us what benefits you receive from that.
Yeah, so every quarter I do a 3-day fast, and I do that with my YouTube community, and I encourage people, they can join the 3-day fast and do it 1 day, 2 days, and I want people to be ready for it. But 3 days I do very regularly. And that is what I consider my sweet spot because I can do it extremely joyfully. I definitely think it helps me in my weight maintenance, but I also really like it gives me perspective when I do a 3-day fast. OMAD seems like absolutely nothing. It's like, oh, I eat every day. That is a luxury. And because I can so regularly do 3-day fasts, it truly makes OMAD seem like a piece of cake, if that makes sense. On top of that, I really like the community aspect of it, knowing you're doing it with other people, that you're encouraging each other. Um, and I can still feel super proud of myself. I think of Jackie 6 years ago going 3 days without food happily, and I want to shock that lady in the past, you know. And so I get the mental like yes, you can do this. You know, food doesn't rule you anymore. And the longest that I've done is a 5-day fast, and I felt physically very good, but mentally I was like missing food. So I call 3 days my sweet spot because I can happily do it. By 5 days, I was tired of making food for my family. I have 3 children at home. I was tired of, being around food and not being able to participate. So it was like, yep, that was maybe a one-time thing for a while.
Yeah, it is quite. I did 2 weeks no food. I would go to dinner with others. I cooked food for others, and it's the power of faith and fasting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Do you use spirituality to help you on your fasts and how you're doing your one meal a day? Do you think the mindset is really a powerful thing
Oh yeah.
for each and every one of us?
Yeah. So I do think mindset's really important, and I'll talk to that in a minute. But faith is actually my first experience with intermittent fasting. So my church at the beginning of every year has a season of Seek, and they encourage people to fast for 21 days as a start to the year. And they're not strictly saying like don't eat or drink, but it's, everyone's at different points. They'll say, um, you could fast sweets, kind of like a Lent type situation, or you could
Give
fast
something up. But is that it?
exactly social media. But then they also had one year they had a pamphlet and that listed different intermittent fasting schedules, 16-8, 24, one meal a day. And that was my first exposure to it. And I did, I'm trying to think, I think I did 18-6. So I fasted 18 hours at a 6-hour eating window. And that was the first time I ever fasted. And it was long before I did it for weight loss. And the funny thing is, I would front load and I would eat like right before the timer ended. I would like, okay, I got to get it all in before the fast. And I ended up gaining, I think, like 9 pounds in that 21-day period or something. Um, but I remember feeling at the end of it like, fasting 18 hours really wasn't that hard. And that stuck in the back of my head for years before I actually tried it as a weight loss tool where I didn't, open my eating window and not stop eating for 6 hours. And I definitely I like the spiritual aspect of fasting that when you're not eating and you don't have food to turn to, you have to turn to other things. I am a Christian, and so I do turn to my faith. I think of very recently, my grandfather passed away, and he is the first person in my life that I've been like, he's there day in and day out that I've lost. And had I, it's been a struggle, even with an eating window, I can feel myself comfort eating, but had I been eating all day long, it would have been the first thing that I turned to. And I do find that when I don't have the food or a snack to turn to, I'm looking for other ways, probably better ways to process my grief, to find joy. And faith is a big part of that. Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
Christ is the
And
Lion. He is the
yes,
master of the message.
absolutely.
Simplicity in his wisdom and words. And that's the part that I think we need to be all faith forward, no matter what your religion is or non-religion, but you understand the power of faith and spirituality and a connection to the goddesses and the gods in each and every one of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think, so when I share a lot on YouTube, I'm very upfront. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a medical expert. But I want to be people's fasting foodie friend. I want to be the best friend that can encourage you and help you with your mindset and realize that you can make fasting fit your life. You don't have to make your life fit fasting. And I think mindset is such a huge part of that. Like,
Imagine. Yeah, it is. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alia, can you hit some questions right now?
Yeah.
Give me about 5 minutes most.
All right. Manta the carnivore. What would you recommend fasting, having autoimmune disease? 1 strict year carnivore, still early healing stages. Would you recommend fasting?
well, I have no experience with carnivore, and I don't have any autoimmune diseases, so I do feel like it's a little out of my element, but I definitely think fasting has health benefits and it has given me so much in my life that I have a hard time not recommending it to anyone as a trial. Autoimmune diseases, I have no experience to add that in, but I have healed so much of myself through fasting, and I know other people in my life that have had, for instance, I can't think of basically like an acid reflux, a different term for it. Fasting has helped cure that. I've had people, their A1C has dropped, with diabetes. There's a lot of different ways that fasting can help people. I just don't have any experience with autoimmune to know.
Being carnivore myself, Amanda, all of my autoimmune systems went away with carnivore. I don't do much fasting. Maybe I should. I'm on the other side, but I know that fasting, what is it? You're eating cells in the body, right?
Autophagy, yeah.
Autophagy. So you're eating the cells in the body that shouldn't be there. So if there's like
Absolutely.
too many immune cells that are attacking your body, I'm assuming that the autophagy is going to help with that. I'm assuming if you do fasting. I do. I've done OMAD a few times. I like a 20-hour eating window. So I'll eat twice in 4 hours. I do like that. That's not OMAD though. Let's see. There is another question. That's great about your eyesight. Do you include minerals or electrolytes daily?
Okay, so this is a little bit, I actually just took a sip. It's funny you asked that. So I do drink an element. If I do a longer fast, they do sponsor me on my channel, so that I wouldn't have brought that up had I not, because they're not obviously sponsoring this.
Yeah.
But
okay.
I work with them. I've been working with them for 4 years, and I continue working with them because I find it does make a huge difference in especially my longer fast. I wouldn't say that I take it daily because, with OMAD, I don't feel like I always need it. But I like them, so I do tend to have them. But I definitely 100%, if I do my 3-day fast every single day, I have electrolytes. And then the element just has the sodium, potassium, and magnesium.
Nice. Papa Carnivore. By the way, this is a carnivore predominant audience.
Yeah, that's fine.
Non-alcoholic Papa Carnivore, non-alcoholic fatty liver at 24 and not overweight. What did they?
Yeah, I don't
explain?
know. It's kind of funny because I very specifically remember sitting with, it was a PA, the physician's assistant, and she was grilling me on if I had been a drinker. And I'm a rule follower. I didn't drink. I think I graduated college at 20 and I didn't drink throughout college. And she's like, no, you can just tell me just tell me, did you used to drink a lot? And I'm like, I didn't. And then I was pregnant at 21, had a baby at 22, pregnant at 23, had a baby at 24. And she didn't believe me, but it was the truth.
Wow.
So where is alcohol made?
I'm not sure.
In the gut.
Okay. So I probably had a poor gut microbiome.
No, you had a good gut microbiome. What do the microbes do in the gut? They make alcohol. All of them. The microbes are not good for us. They just happen to be there and everywhere. If we feed them a lot of plants and protein, lean meat, they're making beer, alcohol, which adds to the damage to the liver. And the best thing why one meal a day changes everything, because by eating 3 meals a day, every day from the day you're born to the day you die, the gut is always full of fermentable foods, which are plants and lean meat, essentially. So that causes fatty liver, but a fatty liver is not pathologic, it's biologic. And visceral fat is not a disease, it's your body saving up the fuel and the building blocks for your babies in your life. And so we've got the science all wrong. I call it scientism, petri dish science, but basically we're built to get fat. We're hungry when the food is there, because in nature, when the food was there and you didn't eat it, you were dead.
Yeah.
And so obesity and fat is not a disease, and fatty liver is biologic. The pathology is the insulin is never turned off, always going, because the gut always has food going to the liver. And most of us, even carnivores, eat a low animal fat diet, which is the single deadliest thing we do, because the microbes do not grow well with fat. They proliferate plants and proteins, which is kind of radical, right?
Wow.
So fasting is the single best thing that you can do to minimize the microbes, minimize the auto brewery syndrome, because you can have a leaner liver but still have cirrhosis, sclerosis, fibrosis, and quote a fatty liver, or have insulin resistance, which is actually a liver disorder. That's all it is. And so again, it sounds complicated, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But what if it's not? What if it's actually so simple? Because we've just got it wrong. And faith and fasting, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Faith first, fasting second. And basically, if you extend your windows, you reduce the microbial fermentation, and you allow the liver and the gut to simplify the sugars and amino acids, and also to eliminate the toxins and the microbial overgrowth.
Okay.
But by keeping the vat of shit full all the time, bloating, pain, gas up and down, infertility, dementia quickly, depression, anxiety, ADHD, OCD, you name it, go down the list. It's all plant protein, low fat diet disease.
Wow.
Deadly, right?
Now, can I ask you a question based on something you said? When you say faith and fasting are the big two, what is your perspective as a doctor? Because I do get pushback on my channel that I don't, if I want Chick-fil-A, I will have Chick-fil-A, that I'm not extremely discerning in my diet. And I understand carnivore and keto would be your primary suggestion, I'm gathering. But do you think fasting, even if you don't have a perfect diet, is better than not fasting and not having a perfect diet?
Well, fasting does something. Look, you process the food from nature in your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Humans have masterfully processed all animal products and all plant products, and delivered it to us in a very addictive way. Remember, you're not the addict. The system is addicting you, because they're making all this ultra processed food. What is in the formula for Chick-fil-A?
I don't know.
Or Kentucky Fried Chicken? Is it a batter of something they put on the chicken to then fry the chicken? And what do they fry the chicken in?
I think peanut oil. I don't know.
Okay, and so in general, evolutionarily speaking, was peanut oil accessible? It's an industrial product, right?
Right.
And chicken, you and I hunted for chicken maybe 50,000 years ago. We took the whole chicken and we might have eaten it raw, but we also cooked it, but we ate every nook and cranny of that animal.
Right.
What do you eat today?
Breast.
The breast, is there skin on it?
It depends, not at Chick-fil-A.
No. So we're eating highly destroyed natural animal foods or plant foods. I mean, I'm not a plant fan. I'm an animal fan for food for a human. And so look at why some people live longer than others, don't know. Why some people get diseases and die younger, don't know. But in general, we're masterfully domesticated via the guidelines. And then the fast food places, they're massively invested in by venture capital. No disrespect to any of our brothers and sisters that do that, by the way. And I mean, Chick-fil-A is masterfully managed systems of let's put out the chickens, right? For the chicken eaters that are lining up or delivering a product that is highly processed, right? And highly camouflaged. It's another word to use on that. Curated to be very, very palatable, super palatable, addictive, but it's healthy for you, right? Is it?
I mean, it's convenient is how I would, and my daughter works. That's the reason why it popped in my head is like, I'm going to eat my daughter works there. I'm going to go visit her on her, and I'm not suggesting or asking you if you think it's a wonderful option. I'm saying, and I believe so, but as a doctor, I would love your opinion. Do you believe that fasting can still provide benefit even if my diet isn't 100?
100%. Yes.
And that's
faith first. Faith and love and kindness and generosity in the life you're living. As you judge it, so shall it be. I eat this beautiful, healthy food from Chick-fil-A. I'm not chastising them or their food.
Right.
And again, what you think of the thing creates the thing. That's where faith in God comes in. Number 2 is eat less frequently to allow the poisons to be reduced, eliminated, the microbes to be suppressed, the inflammatory process to heal the damage. Wow.
Awesome. And that is when I say that fasting meets people where they're at, that's the message. And that's why I continue to share it. Yep, I eat Chick-fil-A because, I mean, it's not regular. I know that I'm probably making it sound like I eat there all the time, but I want people to not think because I haven't dialed this in that fasting can't be for me. I have found so many benefits even without having a perfect diet. I know even just based on what I find joy in, that there are days I want convenience or I want to try new foods or whatever, but I still can get all of these benefits, and fasting can be a launching pad. Even if you just dial in fasting and then you continue to fine tune your diet, you're just going to accelerate the benefits.
I wrote a book years ago called The Fertile Secret and Daily Intentions and Inspiration, because I focused on the mental side, the mind side. And then I integrated with that, which was God and faith in that higher power, which is within us, whether, again, as I mentioned, whether you're a spiritualist, atheist, agnostic, or whatever you are. Then I brought in the food and the time scale of food. You can't live without food, but if you have enough fat on your body, you can live a long time without food.
Yeah.
Because you can live a year or more. Depends on how much fat you have on your body. And again, visceral fat causes no disease. And then when you look at why carnivore, and there was a comment there about raw meat.
Oh yeah, we'll get that up.
Why raw? What other animal cooks their food? Zero. What's the book, Alia?
This one. It's called Pottinger's Cats.
Pottinger's Cats, raw meat, raw milk, healthy cats, cooked meat, pasteurized milk, unhealthy cats, and unhealthy generations. And so these are radical concepts and ideas. Oh. And are we a temple or an amusement park?
I've never heard that question before, but it gets the point across, doesn't it?
Right. So are we ancient hunters and eaters of animals, or are we grazers and plant eaters in our evolution? We're lions. And the Lion of Judah, to me, is the master of concepts and philosophy of humanity. But again, our mindset, what was that comment again? It says, I don't know whether I can do that. Well, that's the problem. You question your ability to be the lioness and the lion you are. And so what does worry do to epinephrine and cortisol? What does warrior and spirit and love bring to the cortisol and epinephrine? It lowers them. Mm-hmm. Serotonin, oxytocin rise. Oh my God, the best thing you could ever do.
I love that. And when you mention, I don't know if I can do that, one thing I like to share with people, back to the mindset, and I don't know if you've ever read the book that no one's ever heard of, Atomic Habits, but he says, I'm joking. He says, don't say I want to be whatever, say I am. So I am a faster. I don't hope to fast, because the mindset shift in that every day. If I am a faster, I'm going to fast.
Well, why did I write the book, The Fertile Secret?
You are a fertile body.
What is the secret? Every thought you think creates the life you live, period. Done. That's all it is. And that's why I don't care if you're a vegan, vegetarian, Mediterranean, pescatarian, or carnivarian, whatever you choose to eat, or a breatharian. But basically, the mind is the master of the mission. And if you haven't read James Allen, the mind is the master, and Neville Goddard, and and Marcus Aurelius, or Jesus Christ, or Buddha, Lao Tse, Abraham, Moses, Muhammad. But you and I are the goddesses and the gods of the universe. There's nothing out there. Nothing out there. And that's all Christ said, because he said, I am what I am. Or was that Moses? But the 3 magic words by U.S. Anderson is actually the simplest concept, because I am God. All of us. I am. I am that I am. Because that faith forward first is to see everything in the beauty and magic of what it's supposed to be. It is what it is. Right? Does that make, but again, faith, and that's why community this is community. This is faith. This is learning the wisdom and the words and the way. And we're getting this up on it's Kindle KDP, but also my other book that I've been sharing. I'm gonna find it, but here's another really good one that I really love, by Neville Goddard.
Okay.
Power of Awareness, and I'll give you guys the other play, which I just am working on getting it out to everybody. Christ-based teachings.
I'm gonna have to update my library after this.
Well, constantly. I do an infinite number of books that I read or I listen to. I watch stories, but our job is to create the stories, right? That's what God gave us the gift, which is called life, and we are here for a blink of an eye, a fraction of a second of the physical nature of life, but it's an eternal spiritual nature. And when you suffer, he is working on you, with you, to help you strengthen.
Oh yeah.
And whether you're in the prison with real chains and bars, or you're imprisoned in the mind. It's all the training grounds of life.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
I want to get this question, Jackie. If you're eating at the end of the day, what is your eating window? And do you only drink water out of your window? Coffee anytime? Thanks.
I drink water, coffee, black, whether cold or hot, but I mostly black, decaf or caffeinated, depending on what time of the day. And then I do love iced tea, but I don't do any flavored. And then, yeah, pretty much I drink way more coffee than I do water. I don't know that that's advisable, but I love my coffee. And then I do have the electrolytes when I have that, but mostly coffee and water. And then when it's finally hot and humid here in Michigan, I will have iced tea regularly.
Awesome.
Do you drive a car?
Do I drive a car? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you walk across the streets ever?
Oh, I walk. I try to walk as much as I can. Yes.
Do you live with other human beings?
Yes.
Those are dangerous things, aren't they? Aren't they?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have a 16-year-old driver. That's dangerous.
Oh my God! Right?
Yeah.
But this is the beauty of the universe. It's always happening the way it's supposed to.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. What do I eat during my OMAD? So I personally don't have, going back to the discussion earlier, I don't really have restrictions. I don't like fish. I don't like seafood. I don't like mushrooms. So those are off based on palate. And, but I pretty much eat whatever sounds good. And I meal plan so that I open my eating window with protein and vegetables. And then I round it out. So it kind of depends on if we have Little League that day or a basketball game. And I don't really have restrictions. So I pretty much eat most things within my eating window, but I do try to crowd out the less nutritionally dense items by focusing on eating something well-rounded to begin with. But I don't have any sort of a diet that I follow within that.
Diet. I hate the word diet.
I know.
It's a deadly diet. I mean, like 50,000 years ago, what did we eat? And our mission was following the herds, I imagine.
Yeah.
And eating the meat, nose to tail, as they say. And I guess, at times, depending where you were, you decide, hey, I'm going to eat those plants. But how many people probably died of diseases from eating wild plants?
Yeah.
I mean, really, we eat domesticated plants. We don't eat wild plants.
Yeah.
And we eat domesticated animals. We don't really eat wild animals, do we?
No, I don't.
So what about your family, your children, or others that are following your fasting way? And have you touched on keto or carnivore at all yet?
So my family, my husband is very supportive. I think at the beginning thought he's been with me every 40 pounds I'd lose and gain and try another diet. Weight Watchers I did 1,000,000 times. And so I think he probably assumed, just like I did, that it would be another one of those. And he's been very supportive. And my kids, I just explained it to them that as an adult, I don't have the same needs. I'm not growing my brain anymore. I don't have to eat throughout the day. And they're so used to it, they don't really question it anymore. They'll say, "Are you in your eating window?" And then we move on. But what was the second half of your question?
About I even forgot. So
I know.
Keto and carnivore.
Oh,
Have you thought about that and tried it at all and just experimented?
Yeah, I did experiment, and I love experimenting. I did an entire month of keto, and I dropped 10 extra pounds that I otherwise cannot do just through fasting. And I really actually enjoyed how I felt. The thing I didn't enjoy the most was it was just a lot more to manage. especially in a household with others that aren't eating the same way.
And this is our challenge, but what does faith and spirituality give us the power to do?
Overcome challenges.
Right. So you're only 38 years young, right?
Yeah.
And bacon, eggs, butter, beef, Kiltz's ice cream, salt. Wow. Game change.
I need to know what Kiltz's ice cream is. I'm sorry.
It's full on cream. Raw's best. Eggs yolk is best, but you can do the whole egg. A sprinkle of salt, Malden. I sprinkle vanilla, the vanilla bean in there, and even just a sprinkle of cane sugar or honey or a berry or nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, because sugars are in animal products and plant products and microbes. They're everywhere. The sugars are why we even are alive. No sugar, no life. But it's not your energy. It's a glycosylating agent. But yeah, I didn't do it until I didn't do carnivore till 55. I did keto at about 50, paleo at 45, Atkins at 40, Weight Watchers at 35, a massive runner, biker, swimmer, crazy neurotic. Am I now? And I'm like, the game changer was, and I was raised Catholic. I became an atheist, a scientist, isms, the isms, itises, and oses. But when I went carnivore at 55, game changer.
Wow.
Brian wants to know if you are it's great you're fasting, but are you worried about the long-term consequences of some of the toxic foods you eat?
Well, so my perspective is I'm gonna just compare it at first to Weight Watchers. When I did Weight Watchers, it was never sustainable. So at the very least, I am mentally so much more sound doing this. I also find this to be extremely joyful and sustainable. I have never once in the last 6 years thought I can't do this long term. I don't want to do this. So I'm getting the fast in no matter what. I can enjoy it. I will be doing it for the rest of my life. On top of that, and actually, the title of this, OMAD, has been a huge catalyst for my entire life. Since this has happened, I have started therapy, and I know it seems like a large stretch to go from because of fasting, but I have a better mental state to where I can take on more. I've known I needed to go to therapy for a long time. There were things from my childhood that I needed to address, but I never could do it. Fasting has given me confidence and seeing myself as worthy of putting time and effort into. And I now walk regularly. I'm about to walk a marathon in a few months. And all of this the catalyst for all of this is fasting. I started fasting, and yes, my diet, well, and when I say diet, I'm not saying dieting. I'm saying the foods that I choose to eat is not dialed into a perfect makeup. I know that. But on top of, I can get the benefits of fasting long term. I get the benefits of all the other things it has allowed me to take on, to be prepared to do. And because of that, I'm not worried because I know it's sustainable and I will get all of those benefits for the rest of my life. And I keep improving, and I'm happy with that. So am I perfect? No. Am I ashamed of that? Also, no.
Well, because I would say that we don't really know the perfect food.
And I agree with that.
If you claim the toxins, you're eating the toxins, which has absolutely nothing to do with the toxins. It has to do with your mindset. So I would still say you are faith first, yes. And fasting is the icing on is part of the cake, I guess. And go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say I do agree with that. And so when I'm saying this, I really don't feel apologetic. It's more that I'm addressing the concerns that other people seem to have. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it like I'm not ashamed when I go eat Chick-fil-A, for instance. it is me saying, yes, I recognize that this wouldn't be the picture of what someone might say, do this, but it also, I don't feel ashamed or feel like I am poisoning myself at the same time, if that makes sense.
We've been brainwashed by John D. Rockefeller and all the people that control the message and the money, basically.
Yeah.
The sugar cartel has existed for thousands of years. They are the same people that exploited the exploitable by exploring the world and capturing all of the peasants of the world who became the prisoners, the slaves, and the soldiers. We're just working for the man. I call the Friends of Jeffrey Island. And ultimately, your this idea you have to eat 3 meals a day plus snacks to fuel your metabolism is BS.
Absolutely.
And we're built.
I was gonna say, I feel so much more energy if I have to do something physical. It's while I'm fasting. You know, if I'm gonna be hauling mulch to the gardens or moving furniture or whatever, I want to do it while I'm fasting because that is when my energy is, or working out. You know.
Well, why? Why?
Well, I have the perfect fuel source built into me.
Well, the fuel is always fat. It is never anything else.
Right.
When you fed the gut, what's in the gut? Well, food digesting. Yeah. Where does the blood flow primarily go when food's in the gut? To the gut. It takes it away from the extremities, the muscles, the mind, and everything else. That's why your best meal is at night when you feed and you rest and digest. That's what we're here for.
Feed, rest, and digest. I'm gonna make a shirt of that, I think.
It really is. I mean, ultimately, that's our, why do lions sleep after the feast? Who's like, let's feast and go for a run?
No.
We're brainwashed. And so I feel weak. OMAD makes me feel weak. It's not weak. It's because you're in an addictive environment and the story and the dictators are selling you shit. Now you say you're weak because it's Pavlov's dog. You've been brainwashed. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I got to eat. Dopamine makes us dumb.
Dopamine?
Dopamine. Right.
Lions Danvor podcast. Dr. Kiltz, did you like the lion t-shirt? He sent you a t-shirt. Did you get it? Here we go. Is that it? Yes, that's it.
That's it. Right.
Well, Dr. Kiltz is changing.
Is this it? Is this the one?
We're going to see in a second.
I will not be doing that on live.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think that is. Yeah, lions. There you go.
We're all lions, are we not? Lionesses and lions, not.
Uh-oh.
I want to hear the rest.
Cats are ancient lions and wolves, but we're domesticated. We're domesticated.
Dr. Kiltz, you went frozen for a second. Can you say that again?
We're domesticated animals. We're living a life of eat this, it's good for you. Eat organic, it's good for you. Oh, don't eat meat, it's bad for you. The lions that control the message are giving us authoritative scriptures, and then you're paying the price, whether you're hospitalized, diseased, or incarcerated.
There you go.
Very crazy, right?
Dr. Kiltz, I want to take advantage of being on with you. I have another question for you, if you don't mind.
Please.
So I have a friend. She is on a conception journey trying to, and she is nearing 40, but I told her I was going to be meeting with you, and she has heard conflicting advice on fasting and fertility, and she wanted your input.
Well, fasting, again, faith and fasting. Remember, the first thing forward is I'm a mom, I'm a dad, I'm a parent, I am fertile. I am apparent, which means you've already considered and thought of the thing you wish for as if it is. And next is fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, a day, 2 or 3. Remember, when the gut is empty, inflammation is down, autophagy has already healed you. Remember, autophagy is always happening, but the poisons are down when you stop eating. The microbial fermentation of the plants and proteins. So absolutely, again, the fasting, I don't care if you're pregnant, not pregnant, what time of the cycle you're on. I mean, we're all making up science like it's truth. Yeah. Science is a theoretical proposal that is defined by a p-value, but are you a p-value in a scientific experiment?
No, n equals 1.
That's it. And Jesus Christ figured it out, and he got crucified for it. But that was his secret. It was only the story because we're resurrected every day in listening and learning from his masterful story.
So day in and day out, I'm thinking you would suggest fasting would be?
Fasting is fitness all day long.
Perfect.
Remember, fasting means no food. It means no food. That's what it means.
But Dr. Kiltz, in her hour of fasting, her friend who is trying to conceive, what food would you recommend her friend eats during this time of eating?
No, you mean in the feasting time.
In the feasting time, what should her friend be
get the baby's book from Amazon. Bacon, eggs, butter, beef, Kiltz's ice cream, salt, 1 meal a day, faith in God, and see what you wish for as if it already is.
Love it. Thank you.
Isn't that so simple? It's masterfully simple. And again, but if you're eating plants, cook them well, simplify the sugars, kill the microbes, add the fat from an animal, oils from plants. Plant seed oils, they're all the same base, are not good for us. They're industrial products that are potentially poisonous. Now, again, why some and not others? Nobody knows.
How many days a week is good to do fasting, please?
A whole week would be a good one. So here's the hard part. Like, I'm doing a 5-day fast, maybe 7, maybe 4, but I'm already know I'm doing at least 4. Pick a date and say, wow, I'm really looking forward to my meal on this day. I'm so grateful for the fat on my body. I don't care if you're 600 pounds. That fat causes no disease. Visceral fat, no disease. And again, what is the fuel and building blocks for your body? Always fat. The horrible fat on your body is your friend in a famine. Migration, hibernation. Glucose and sugars, there are 9 sugars in the human body that make up the glycocalyx, are glycosylating agents that are the decorations of the proteins that give its functionality. Without the sugars and post-translational modification of those proteins, you're dead fast.
What does post-translational modification mean?
Well, so the DNA tells the RNA, let's make a protein in the endoplasmic reticulum on the ribosome. As these proteins are being made, there's modifications, there's decorations to the protein molecule that give it its shape, charge, pH, hydroxylation, methylation, and more. There are about 650 post-translational modifications that we know that happen in the endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi apparatus, the cytoplasm, and everywhere in your body. And it's happening at the speed of light, by the way.
Oh, wow.
But remember, light travels at a different speed in a vacuum, in the atmosphere, in water, in a plant, or in your body. But it's happening so fast It's electromolecular reactions, which are really what's happening in this world.
Brian says he's waiting for the translation part. So it's changes made to protein after it's been built. That's the simple definition, right?
Okay, the translation is simple. But remember, everyone thinks the proteins are the most important. But it's the after the protein is made by modifying it. What modifies it for damage? Your diet, your thinking, your environment. It's damaging. So almost every disease is remember, translation is the building of the protein, essentially. Now the protein is built, but now what? Like, again, let's just say you made a tree, but there are no leaves and no fruit, no seeds, right? But in fact, the plant is the sugar that coats every cell of our body that gives it its functionality.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you, Ali. A simplicity, Occam's razor. But again, is faith and fasting in one meal a day and fatty meat raw the best way to live? It is the best. I appreciate everyone stopping in. All vegans, vegetarians, Mediterraneans, pescatarians, and carnivarians, everyone's welcome. Whether you're a theist, an atheist, or agnostic, everyone's welcome. Kiltz Mighty Tribe is free for everyone around the globe. Our job is to inspire all of our brothers and sisters. We've had vegans on this show. We have fasters. We have feasters. We have all humanity here to share a way that we can live a better way. Let's bring peace around the globe to our brothers and sisters. Let's see that our brothers and sisters are in every culture and every food type. I like Chick-fil-A. I like pizza, pasta, bread. I will eat those things in small amounts from time to time, but I am not an addict. I am strong and a lion, and I am capable of everything. I will never claim I am addicted, except to one thing.
Christ.
I
love it.
Meet me in Hawaii. Congratulations. You won the giveaway today. Please email me, alia@drkiltz.com, and I will send you your gift.
And we're all the same. Our cells, our microbes, our molecular structure all works the same. You're not different. It's so stupidly simple. You never burn sugar as energy, ever. Sorry. Doesn't happen. I'm addicted to life. I'm, again, joyful in life, and you're going to die. Before you die and get on my wall, these are some of my good friends and family members that have passed on because they inspire me every day to get up and out and go do something. Absolutely. Crazy, right?
I love that.
And in faith in Jesus Christ. Where do people find you?
I'm intermittent fasting foodie on YouTube.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you tonight, tomorrow, next week. Follow us, like, subscribe, hit the button.